So this month, I've been talking about focus, right? Something around focusing, right? And I want to share a little story today too. And then maybe from the story, what I learned from the story, right? And then so I want to share too. So anyway, I just always trying to have a hard time to go this way. So, as you guys know, English is my second language, right? My first language is Japanese. Yes, I lived in Canada almost 27 years, but still, I prefer speaking Japanese than English. Of course, I feel more comfortable. Means speaking, so listening same way. I understand better when I listen Japanese. English, yes, it's getting better, but I still need lots of attention. I have to pay lots of attention to it. And means I have to focus. I have to focus the conversations and language, what they're speaking. So I built a habit, right? I built a habit for so many years. I built a habit to focus. When somebody's speaking in English, right? I pay attention. I build a habit to focus. Because I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it, right? Because it's a conversation. The moment is so important. I am a hairstylist. If I don't understand what my clients trying to tell me, what's going to happen? They were just wind up this is not what I asked. But should I just pretend, oh yeah, okay, all right. There are actually some people like that too, right? I don't know how much they understand. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But I asked something. And then their reply is, okay, all right, got it. Yeah. And then just oh my gosh. Didn't I ask you that I do not cut around the ear too short, just kind of halfway down? Didn't I ask you that? Can you take only 1/4 inch the bangs? But what's happened? Like that. Yes. I didn't want that things happen, right? That's why I started, I pay attention. And if I don't understand, I repeat. I ask questions until I understand. And then I start working. That's my habit. So same way, when I watch TV, when I watch YouTube, whatever, I pay attention. I pay attention because I don't understand everything, especially in English, right? So my husband and I, we like to watch Netflix. Not every night, but I don't really care for drama, but I like to watch some interviews, right? Some celebrity interview, somebody's interview, documentary. Because I feel I like people. I like humans. So I always feel like I can learn something. I can learn something good through that person. It doesn't matter. Maybe interviewing somebody on the street, and I pay attention. And just oh, that's interesting. Oh, her life is interesting, right? Oh my gosh, why are you dressed like that? And he's starting to, some interview just why are you dressed like that? Oh, because. And then just that's interesting. I always can find something interesting about that person, and I can learn through him and her, right? So I am pretty sure you guys are the same things too, right? You are a curious human being. Me too. I am super curious human being. So I was watching, I go back to the story, Netflix, and then I forgot the title. David Letterman was interviewing Ryan Reynolds, right? The Canadian actor. I didn't even know he was from Vancouver, but it's oh, okay. So anyway, he was talking about some, his stories, right? His movies, his life, and here you are, Tessa. You like the way I do? Happy Friday! Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so he was sharing about his story. Movie, life, his family, his life. So I was just like, I was paying attention to his stories, right? Yes, he is an actor. So he is so good at sharing his story through emotions. That really helped. If he was talking, right? Well, this is what happens. Okay? Yeah, when I was kids, yes, I grew up in Vancouver and I drove down to LA straight from Vancouver and without telling my parents. Yes, I did it. Not like that. He always, between what's happened, right, his life, he added like his emotion with like, I feel it, with action. That's just like I was so drawn into his story, right? So I can learn by paying attention how he talks, what he's talking about, and then between what's happened in his life, he put the emotion. He insert what he learned, how he felt, and then by pausing between the story, right? The pause helps to create, helps to create something what is, just make us think oh my gosh, what's coming next? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. So that's the pause. Give us a time to digest, give us a time to expand our imagination. So, and then we just feel what's coming next? Expectation too, right? So that's why I love watching people those the TV show interviewing the real people. So that's why a part of it, I think that's why I like watching this Instagram lives too, because I can feel people's emotion. If I don't feel emotion, it's just no. I'd rather feel emotion. Yes, the person in front of me, right? And then they're not perfect. They don't talk perfect English. Yeah, they're just maybe story goes here and there, but I feel emotion. That's how I felt the other day from Ryan Reynolds' story. Yes, here, I like you say, here you are, right? I like that. That's so sweet. Hi, Azim. Happy Friday. So, and then I had 3 lessons. I learned 3 lessons from his stories. So I want to share 3 of them, right? And he had 3 older brothers. He was the youngest one. And then his father was so strict, right? It's used to be police officer. He was so strict, old style father. And then, but the Ryan, he wanted to get the ear pierced. He was 12 years old. He's got an ear pierced. And he was so nervous that his father was going to find out. He's going to get in big trouble, right? But at the same time, he's just this is my freedom. I can do whatever I want. I am 12 years old. I'm so independent. As he was telling himself at the same time at the dinner table, he was so scared of putting his head up. And he's just what if father's going to kill me? I think he's going to kill me. I got my ear pierced, right? And he said, I felt the dripping. Sorry, Suri will start talking about. Okay, so I felt, what's going on? Sorry, I starting to talking and Suri starting to interrupting me. Can you hear it? I don't know. Hold on. I hope you guys, if you cannot hear my conversation, let me know. I started, it's kind of weird. Suri starting to talking. Maybe it's not here. That's okay. Or something, maybe I say something and then maybe she answered actually. So anyway, I'll keep going on. If you cannot hear what I'm talking, let me know. My voice, let me know. Okay? So And I wanted to keep doing it. He was so scared. He was just he's starting to like sweat dripping. I see, he starts seeing. And then he just like, but you know what? It's a dinner table. He has to put his head up. Means he has to show his ear pierce, right? Oh, okay. That's good. Thank you so much, Marsha. That's good. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Aman. So, and then as he put his head up, that's okay. You know, I'm going to get killed, but I have to put a head up, you know? And then just like he looked around and all his 3 other brothers, older brothers, they had ear pierced for him, right? That way he didn't get in trouble. His mom and dad, they were looking at them, right? And then just like, okay, they couldn't say anything. I found that was a beautiful story. Beautiful story. They didn't want their youngest baby brother, didn't want to get in trouble, right? That's why they did it the same things to help out each other. I find if you have the one, that was like one experience, right? But if you have the one moment, one experience like that, right? They will get along no matter what's happened throughout their life. They will get along because whenever they get into fight, but they will remember the moment that, yeah, he got me covered. He helped me out, that moment. So I just like, wow, that's so good. That's so good. And it just make me think like, have I ever done my brother and my sister? I don't know. I might have to earn it. That things, right? So another one is, he said, my father passed away. And I wish he was the guy, he told the things happen, not how he felt, right? Like, I get that. You know, we, like like most of us, maybe not our generation, but older generation. Think about it, our fathers, right? Most of the fathers, including my father-in-law, they were so good at talking about what happened, the things. But they were not really good at how they felt. Maybe they can say, oh, I got pissed off. Yeah, but what else? What else? Vulnerability? Something being, you felt something, just didn't have a human connections. We didn't feel like so connected. The reason is, I am pretty sure the Ryan said, I wish if my father shared how he felt, right? How he felt. I felt like I connected better. So I just like, yeah, that's so, I really get it. I felt so, just like, I don't know, I had to write down like, yes, that's so true. Because, okay, so my father, it's like, my mom and dad, they divorced when like really young, mid-30s. So when I was 15, right, father left the house. And then my father was the one, he was, what is called, like a truck driver. So since I was little, I only saw him once a week, Sunday. That's it. So I don't know how many days I spent with my father, right? So I didn't really have much conversation. And I didn't really felt emotionally my father and I connected. And then one day, like it happened like 10 years ago, I went back to Japan by myself. And every time I go back to Japan, I meet my father. I make a time to meet with him, to see him. And then at that table, we went to izakaya restaurant. It's like small izakaya diner. And a great environment. It's not loud, very private, right? It's a great environment. I really recommend that if you are having a hard time to connect with your son, a daughter, your own kids, I recommend to just get out the house. If they're old enough, right? Just go to the quiet place, have some drink together, right? That really helped. So my father and we are having a beer together, and he's starting to share his emotions, And then that I felt so connected, and that made me a big relief. And he said, I don't want you to think I abandoned you. I don't want you to think that I left. I know, your mom and I, we had so much problems. And I left the house, but not like I left you guys. Emotionally, I always thinking about you guys. There's no any single days, right? And then I forget the days. I always remember, thought about you guys while working, anything. So, and he said that's like, it hurts because you guys not here. Like, I come home from work, you guys not there. Like, that life we really paid for so many years. And I just like, oh, okay. I just like, oh, I told that dad. I just like, thank you so much for sharing that. Now I know you really loves me, right? That moment, it takes, I'm pretty sure my dad is old school, right? It took him, had so much courage to share his emotion. He said it was painful. Like, he went home and just, he just spent, in the dark. Nobody was home because he was living by himself in an apartment, right? And he felt awful. He just cried so many nights. And I just oh, he really cared about him. So that's so good. And I really appreciate that, my father's vulnerability, right? The same thing's my father-in-law. 2 years before he passed away, I spent so many time, not every day, so many time to spend time with him. And at first, he is super old school, right? He is absolutely the one. He just he's so good at talking about what he this and that, and that's like the things happens. But not really sharing how he felt. So I just, by spending so much time with him, I made up my mind that I strictly listen to him. Listen, that's all I'm gonna do. So I just listen. Whatever he talked, listen. And then one day I realized that I listened, but I forgot to ask. I wasn't talking about myself, but around his stories, right? I just what? I wanted to him know better. I wanted to get to him know better. I wanted to connect with my father-in-law. So I started to questioning him. I started to asking him the small, cute question. It's not like a deep ones. It's just so how did you meet your loved one? So what did you say at your first date? What did you wear? Where did you go? Right? It's just something like that. And I know he loved his wife. So he started sharing how did he meet his loved ones and where was the first date. And then by starting doing that, he started sharing his emotions, right? And I felt so much, I felt so connected with my father-in-law. So that's a really great idea. So I wanted to, if you have a kids, teenager kids or grown-up kids, and there's I don't know, how do I connect? I wanted to connect. I feel so disconnect with my kids. Try, if your kid's a little older, right? And then just take it to another place, not in the house, somewhere else. Or if your kids are still little, maybe not old enough to have a drink, take them to ice cream. I don't know, just some safe, quiet, calm, soothing environment. Really help. And also another one is start asking questions, not the deep ones. Forget about, talk about yourself. It's not about you. It's about him, right? So just think, create the good question, cute questions. Something makes him feel better. Think and ask. And that's all. You feel the connection too. And then third ones, I got really great impression. And I had to write down about, the story from Ryan. And then he said, when I grew up, right? My parents only taught us, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. That's it, right? They didn't talk about negative emotions, how to deal with negative emotions, right? Because they didn't know that. Those parents, I'm pretty sure most of them, our parents is maybe alcoholic. Most of them. My grandpa, right? I've only met him once. My mom's father, grandpa, he was alcoholic. When he started drinking, everybody has to stay out, have to leave the house, right? That things. So how can they know? How can they know? My parents, I don't blame my parents, right? Because that's the environment. So those parents, yes, same things. My mom, I remember that she just like, she didn't know how to deal with negative emotion. When negative emotion comes, she just like quietly just shut down. Or she started to feel even worse, right? And lots of them, they just didn't know how to deal with them. And then so they are teaching us, be happy, stay happy. And I believed just be happy is one only emotion we're allowed to taste. But I just like, no, that's not working. I realized that no, that doesn't work. You know what? I am allowed to taste all the emotion I have, right? Because everything it comes with it. And you're allowed to have it, but it's like how you deal with it, how you use it. That's the things. That's so important. Don't just keep bringing in. Don't keep inviting over and over and over, right? You can feel it. And then you have to learn how to let it go. And if you keep practicing, right, you can do it. So the Ryan teaches his three daughters, you're allowed to feel any emotions. Go ahead, right? Go ahead. Yes, you can choose happiness. Of course. But you are allowed to feel. Do not feel guilty to feel negative emotion. Choose to feel that moment, to feel negative emotion. You are allowed to feel every emotion you feel. Means, I thought they are encouraging their daughter, his daughter, right? To be who you are, right? I remember Tessa said, I'm sure she's still here. She said when her granddaughter, Kylie, when she get upset, they didn't teach her, they just let her upset. Just let her feel all the emotion, right? And then when they upset, they're not immediately saying, don't do that. They let her feel. Because eventually, you know that, right? Temporary. Everything is temporary. Emotions are temporary. Comes and goes and come and goes, right? So it's okay. Eventually, what's the kids gonna do? They cry, and then what? 10 seconds later, they laugh. They start laughing. That's how it goes, right? So you do not suppress your negative emotion. Hi, Cindy. Here you are, Cindy. Happy Friday. And hello, Allures Pen Wellness Boutique. I hope I pronounced it right. English is my second language, but I did my best. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tessa. Yeah, so I just yes. And by watching his TV, Ryan shared his stories, right? And then I just that was amazing. I am so glad that I paid attention that 46 minutes TV show interview, because I can learn a lot. I learned a lot through his stories. Hi Emma, happy Friday. Thank you so much for coming, right? So you never know. You pay attention, right? And have a habit, right? Have a habit to pay attention to the things you need to hear. It's easy to say, right? But sometimes you never know. It might come through TV. It might come through something the people behind you talk about the grocery store. You never know, right? So I do believe if you keep getting to a habit, right? It's like paying attention like a muscle. Focus like a muscle. I know I'm a muscle, right? Focus is a muscle. The more you focus, focus muscle getting better. And then you can start to attract so many good things. It's true. It's true. You see it, right? I don't know. My muscle is bigger than yours? I don't know. Anyway, that's so true. So I've learned, yesterday, it was day before yesterday, right? So by watching Ryan Reynolds interview, I found it just so amazing. And I told my husband, that was so good, was it? He said, I didn't find it funny. That's okay. Everybody's get the message different way. But I'm so happy to share with you guys, right? So that's why I felt so much better since I allow myself to feel all kinds of emotion. And I always just, tell myself, emotions are just like chewing gums. I am a little weird. Think that way too. Chewing gums. Think about it. You taste it, right? Just chew it, taste it. But, chewing gum, eventually, especially North American ones, Japanese ones taste long. You know what? Last so long. But North American ones, for some reason, I don't know, they don't last long. Why? I have no idea. I'm not getting into it, okay? But it's like eventually you don't feel taste. There's no taste. You spit it out. Spit it out is letting go. So I use analogy and I actually do that. And then just like it's going, it's go. So I think that's a great way too. Think about it. If you think like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't feel negative, but you know what, you guys know it, right? The energy goes where you pay attention, right? So if you focus about towards your negative feeling, you keep feeding negative energy, right? Keep feeding and feeding every 90 seconds. If you do it so many years, some people, they keep feeding that things, negative emotion. Happened 5 years ago. They still keep feeding. I heard emotion, 90 seconds, last 90 seconds. So how many times they've been doing that for 5 years? They keep feeding every 90 seconds. It's time to let it go, right? But they keep adding flavors and flavors and flavors, the bitter ones. Please stop do that, right? You can do it. You can do it. Right? Just spit it out, just like a chewing gum. So anyway, so that's the things I wanted to share. I hope it just kind of helps you guys out. Oh, thank you so much, Alma. Yes, keep shining. Yes, we'll keep shining, right? Oh, sorry. Cindy. Yeah, thank you so much. So let me just read the comment. Alma, thank you so much for sharing your comment. What's the muscle that you have been building that no one you can see? What's muscle? Okay, it's you mean like physical ways, right? It's like my muscle. I feel it's okay. Imperfection muscle, right? It's like I've been trying to build, right? Imperfection muscle. That's who I am actually. Like when I realize that, like imperfect is part of who I am, right? And then I'm just like, that's good, that's good. So this is part of it. Like I show up, not perfect, right? This is part of exercise, showing up on IG Live. So that's okay. Everybody wants to do an IG Live, but they're so scared not showing up being perfect. Don't worry. Showing up imperfect every time. You get better. You're going to get a muscle. You guys know it, right? Oh, thank you so much. What a great analogy. I'm going to steal that from you. Go ahead. am so happy. I am so happy. We can talk about it, those kind of, like I would love to have a collaboration with you too one day. No, shouldn't say one day. One day never comes. I always enjoy like you and Rosie is, the doing the lives. It's so funny. Rosie is, you know what? I love Rosie because she's imperfect. I think Rosie and I, we have something very similar things. Like we have that things together, same things. I don't know. We have something in there, like just like, and then when we show, we're not afraid to show what's inside of us. It shines, right? So that's imperfection. Yeah. Okay. Energy flows where focus goes. That's it. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Yes. Energy flows where focus goes. That's so important. So you can use it, the good and bad things. Yes. Like emotional intelligence, courage muscle, like emotional intelligence. Oh, courage muscle. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe I answered okay for you. Good for you. Right? Yeah. Courage muscle. Yes. I found confidence, courage like a muscle. You have to build. You gotta build. Means you gotta keep showing up. Right? Once a month, once a year, okay, I'm gonna build the courage. I show up. Doesn't work. You gotta do it almost every single day. And I found it's okay to have one day off. But that one day off, you focusing on taking a rest. You do it hard. You try so hard. You have to try so hard to take a rest. And then next day, you bounce it back, right? You can just like, okay, I go back to my exercise. So thank you so much. I am so happy that you are staying with me and you took your time to stay with me. You are here for me and for yourself too. I really appreciate it. And I trust that you will have a great Friday. All right. Thank you so much.